let's do a last now next, meaning what book did I just finish, what am I currently reading, and what book do I plan to read next. I just finished A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. This is a adult mystery thriller with romance and some magical realism thrown in there as well. This story follows James, and James' twin brother Johnny has recently passed away, and their whole life they've had this connection to each other where they can sense each other's feelings and emotions, and it's not that just twin inkling people talk about, like it's real, and that's where the magical realism comes into play. Well, since he's passed away, she's had this feeling that he's trying to reach out to her and let her know that something more has gone on in his life that has caused his death than what people are actually saying. So she is taking it upon herself to go to where he lives, because they didn't live near each other, and just kind of like step into his shoes and get a sense of, who he was before his death and try to figure out what actually happened to him. And during this time, there's people from her past that are coming up and secrets are coming out, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I will say the first 50% was kind of slow going, but once you get to that point, it's a lot better. Now, the romance in here is not very heavy. It's very subtle. So if you're someone who just wants to read romance, I do not recommend this. However, if you like a good mystery thriller with some subtle side plot romance, I think you would like it. And I think you would like it as well if you read The Unmaking of Jane Farrow and you liked that vibe, because it does have that same vibe. However, the plot is very different from each other. Now for what I'm currently reading. I'm always reading 2 books at the same time, and people are like, how and why? It's because I'm moving around constantly. I'm such a busybody that I want an audiobook going, but at the end of the day, I like to relax and sit down and read a book, so I always have a physical copy as well. So let's start with the physical copy, which is the Windy City series by Liz Tomford. I finally started it. This is Mile High, which is the first book, and I'm 50% into it, and I'm really enjoying it. So far, there are 4 books in the series. The 5th one, I believe, comes out this year. I do have the first 4. I got them for Christmas. These are interconnected standalones, all sports romances. This one is a hockey romance. I know the next one is an NBA, and I think the 3rd one is a baseball, and then I think it goes back to hockey, but I'm not completely sure about that. But yes, this one is hockey romance. He's a hockey player, and she is a flight attendant. Now for my current audiobook, I started studying Drowning yesterday, and I got through chapter 3 and quickly realized that I'm going to have to wait to read it, because this is one of those books where you have to read the physical copy, because if you miss a part, it's going to be confusing, and I figured that out. I restarted it 2 times, and for some reason, I wasn't catching on, and so I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to read it, because I don't want to be confused, and I want to like the book, and this has good reviews, so I'm going to wait to read this one, and I'm going to put it back on my TBR cart, and I'm going to be giving Becoming Calder by Mia Sheridan a try. I did listen to the prologue to kind of get an idea, and I was quickly excited because of the narrator's voice. Now, I immediately thought it was Elizabeth Evans. If you don't know who that is, she narrates Throne of Glass, and she does Crescent City as well, and she's about to do a re-narration, I guess you could say, of the ACOTAR series, because they really liked her voice, and I love her voice. She's one of my favorite narrators. There's a girl that sounds exactly like her. Her name is Jennifer Stark, and I've listened to a few audiobooks that she has narrated. Her and Elizabeth have the same exact voice, and it is my favorite, and I will listen to anything that they narrate, and so I'm going to be reading this book. I'm excited about it. I've only read one other Mia Sheridan book, which is Archer's Voice, and that's one of my favorite books, and so I am excited to start this one by her. I do not have the second one. This is a duology. I'm gonna have to probably go and get it, so I have it. This is a YA contemporary romance, and it does have some cult and dark aspects to it, but also when I read the synopsis, it made me think dystopian. It says, there is a place in today's America with no electricity, no plumbing, and no modern conveniences. In this place, there is no room for dreams, no space for self-expression, and no tolerance for ambition. So this follows Calder and Eden, and they live in this community where they're supposed to be one way. However, their hearts are telling them that there's another way to live, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say, because that's all I really know. I am excited to read this, and yes, it is a duology. I'm going to have to go and get the other book, so I have it on standby, because I have a feeling I'm really going to like it based off of the reviews and the synopsis and the narrator's voice. So what am I going to read next? Now, it's probably going to be the second book to Becoming Calder, and also for my physical copy, Right Move. This is the second book in the Windy City series, and of course I'm probably going to read it because I'm really liking the first one. This is the NBA romance, and this one follows Ryan and Indy, and Ryan you meet in the first book because he's the brother to the female main character. They're actually twins. One of the reasons why I do like interconnected standalones is because I already have a sense of Ryan's character from the first book, because we get a little bit of him, and so I know I like him, and I'm excited to read his romance and his story and see how that's going to go. So that is it for the Last Now Next. I will keep you updated on my current reads and my ratings as soon as I finish these books.